Deadpool and Wolverine hanging out at San Diego and Disneyland and stuff. #1 movie in the world because, and I'm sure there's something else going on because it's Monday. And on Monday at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 29th day of July in the year of our Lord 2024, here at Site B, where it's bright and sunny, I am the voice of insanity that is the OGGM. And it's time to take a look at all the tabletop role-playing game freebies, sales, and bundles. Yes. Okay. So what's going on in the world? Tabletop role-playing game today. Post San Diego Comic Book Convention. Is there any cool freebies out there besides this nightmare? Somebody was going to do it, and this will either be the biggest role-playing game ever made or the most frightening role-playing game ever made. It's Smurfs, because, yeah. So post San Diego Comic Book Convention, we know that there was a San Diego Comic Book Convention blood drive. We also know they're doing a blood drive at Gen Con. So if you are going to Gen Con, there will be a booth there. And if in exchange for donating some blood to worthy causes, you'll be able to enter some contests, get some freebies, some swag, some stickers, stuff like that. A cool Hello Kitty Band-Aid, all this stuff. So if you're going to go to Gen Con and feel like, giving to a worthy project, blood drive. You probably could try and give the blood via digital Gen Con. I don't know how well that would work, but I guess you could scan your blood and send, 3D printing. They're making a lot of changes with the technology these days. Who knows what they can do anymore? Speaking of who knows, just in time for Halloween, we have the Smurfs role-playing game, which will be quite possibly the most frightening thing ever made. The quick start is available on drive-thru if that is a terror-filled doorway you want to open. Also, we have something called the Geas Quick Start Guide. This is another heroic fantasy dice pool D20 blah 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 thing. I'm considering making my own. I probably shouldn't bag these, but maybe it's time we take a break from heroic fantasy. If you're looking for something a little bit more classic Greek mythology, we have Myths of Destiny, which is a hack of a system called Songs and Sagas, where you play animated statues in Greek mythology, where you're tasked to protect the new human population of the world. So instead of being adventurers going on adventures, you're statues going on adventures. Okay, sure. If you're looking for something a little bit more post-apocalypse, which I think we all are, we have Wasteland Escorts. This is a free one-page post-apocalypse RPG where you play escorts, making sure caravans between places and places get where they need to go. This sounds really familiar. Not only is it the plot of a short-lived Netflix TV show called Black Knights, but it sounds like this game was done before. Sounds really familiar. If you're looking for something a little bit more horror-themed in time for Halloween, we have the Horror Film Simulation Tabletop Role-Playing Game, where it's a role-playing game designed to recreate horror, because apparently no other previous existing horror role-playing game has done this, other than the tons of previously existing horror role-playing games that try and emulate horror. Mad Titan has released a slot-based inventory system, which, is in my games, which is also in Ben Riggs' games, which is also in Shadow Dark, which is also in a lot of other games. So all this guy is just basically stolen the mechanics from another system and releasing them and saying, hey, I made this. No, you didn't. Comus Games is something I don't get it. What video trend? So apparently there's a video trend about lawn gnomes versus knights or something called Gnomes versus Knights. And somebody has made a role-playing game based upon the videos of gnomes versus knights. Gnomes? Okay. Okay. I'm curious now. What video trend? A link to the videos would have been nice, but there is none. So if this is something anybody's heard of, please let me know where this gnomes versus knight memes exist. We've got Hell's Guard of the Old School Revival, one odd plan, where you land your clone on a hostile alien planet and try and pacify it, similar to a certain role video game called, I mean, just definitely not inspired by Helldiver, but yeah, okay. From Empty Castle, we have another OSR game called The Echoing Manor, where it's an adventure where you go in a haunted house designed for D20. Okay, the OSR, again, this just hit. Again, I've in the last couple of days, I've seen videos about what is the OSR. I'm not OSR. I am OSR. This is OSR. This isn't OSR. I don't even want to get into this again because I feel like we just did this. Okay, but let's again remind you that the OSR is not a physical, tangible thing. Right? It's an idea. We've got some D&D stuff on sale at Dungeon Masters Guild. We've got a 5e adventure called Rescue in the Forest, where you have to go into a forest and rescue some people. We've got some vampire love over at the Storyteller's Vault. We've got a 194-page Chronicles of Conquest for Vampire the Masquerade themed shenanigans in Chile, from pre-Inca all the way up till today. So how has the presence of vampires affected that part of the world? Lightning round, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 maps, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 new subclass type thingies that are still licensed, official, canon, Wizards of the Coast hardback, canon, licensed, official 5e product for the next 1, 2, 3 days. So if you want to grab your 5e stuff, you've got 3 days to do it, because after Thursday, we have no idea what Wizards of the Coast is going to do. It's Gen Con. 5e is being released at Gen Con. 5.5 is now being called 5.5, even though we know Jeremy Crawford has officially referred to it as a new edition. Don't believe me? Watch his interview with Jeannie D. She does catch him. Yay, Jeannie D. She did something good. So yeah, this is it. This is the countdown. These are it, guys. After this, the new SRD goes live, and we don't know how this is going to affect Drive-Thru and DM's Guild and people making third-party 5e product. If you want to continue to make third-party 5e product, the best way around Wizards of the Coast is to use the Project Black Flag SRD or any of the other legal SRD Creative Commons that allow you to continue to make 5e product without dealing Wizards of the Coast. Just make product for Tales of the Valiant, or just make product using Project Black Flag. If there's another one out there similar to Project Black Flag, I'm not aware of it, but the Orc is also something that's out there. You could make them for the Orc. All Project Black Flag did was take the Orc and the 5e SRD and mash it together to create a brand new open source system to replace the OGL, but only in terms of D20/5e type stuff. So yeah, it's hard to believe that this is it. These are the last days of 5th edition as we know it. 10 years ends on Wednesday. It's sort of weird. Moving on to sales, the Christmas and July sale is continuing on Drive-Thru for the next 1-2 days. It's 80% off, tons of stuff. Link down below, including VTT stuff, Roll20 stuff, Dungeons and Dragons stuff, Fate, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Potato Chip Finder, Knave, Cyberpunk, just tons of stuff. The GoFundMe for Owen K. Steffen's cancer treatment prices are still going on. This is a Well, right now this one ends on August 4th, but I have a feeling it'll just renew. And specifically, this is one about the comic books that Owen and a artist by the name of Stan made together. It's a collection of everything they ever did together. It's $20, and every cent goes to Owen K. Seffen's cancer treatments and medical bills. Darrington Press has released a Candle Obscura Roll 20 bundle for $40 because they just won't let it go. How many the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing the exact same way and getting the exact same result but expecting it to be different. That feels at this point what they're doing with Candle Obscura. It failed, so if we just keep throwing it at the wall, eventually it'll stick, right? And our investment won't be for loss. No, just let it go. Just give it up. Just cut and run. It was a failure. Just put it down as a failed experiment and move on to the next thing that you think you can do with Illuminated Worlds, or say, look, we're not doing Illuminated Worlds. It was obviously a mistake. People would forgive that and be quite okay with that. We've got more Christmas in July, this time specifically from a company called Illyria Publishing. They've got a bundle up featuring a whole bunch of source books for their campaign setting, the Mitherling for $20. And then we have a bundle of random tables. This is from Dono. It's called the Dungeons and Ruins Encounters Bundle. It's $13 for a bunch of tables. Random tables, of course, you can find online. Random tables you can find in almost every role-playing game. But if you don't happen to have it, here you go. And moving on to charity bundles. In regards to the charity bundles, as always, if you want to donate to a charity, but you don't need, all these games, maybe consider avoiding the bundles and moving directly to the charity's website, GoFundMe, and just give the money there, instead of, giving it to the bundles if you want to support charities, but you don't need 100,000 games about horses or whatever. Bundle number 1 is a BattleTech bundle. This goes to support Direct Relief. It's $20 and it contains a whole bunch of BattleTech stuff. The starter collection, classic BattleTech readouts, the Succession Wars stuff. I don't know which version of BattleTech this is. I'm assuming it's the most recent. And then they also throw in Project Phoenix in there for some reason. And this is $20. Direct Relief ends August 13th. Then we have the BattleTech Total War bundle for $8, ends the 13th. Direct Relief, which contains bonus collections of manuals, warfare stuff, rules for different scenarios, rules for mechs. Sadly, you do not get any actual BattleTech mechs with this bundle. So if you go to the link and get the bundle, do not expect that you will also download actual physical product, even if you have a 3D printer. So no, sorry. No, Scott, there's just, I'm sorry. You're not going to get a physical dice. Okay. There's a Stars Without Numbers bundle. One of the, this is, on the list of games you should have, even if you never use it. If you're interested in science fiction gaming, it's $8 for the bundle. It pretty much gets you everything that is available for Stars Without Numbers. It goes to support food banks. It ends on August 6th. Yeah, for $8, getting everything that's ever been made for Stars Without Numbers. That seems to be a no-brainer to me. Monkey Fun Studios is still pushing their Spirit of 77 bundle. This ends on the 30th. It's $10. It goes to support the Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program. Hey, did you guys know I was nominated for the Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program this year? I don't know if I mentioned that, but I was. I didn't get it, but I was nominated. I hate to show off, but I'm going to show off. Sadly, the Diana Jones Emerging Designer Program doesn't mean as much as it used to mean, but it's still pretty cool. I was nominated, and right now this week is the Monkey Fun Studios Spirit of 77, which explores the wonderful world of late 70s exploitation type movies, TV shows, Funkadelic, that whole wonderful stuff. for $10. We've got the Doctor Who Ultimate RPG Collection containing everything that's been made for the various Doctor Who role-playing games. This is specifically for the Crucible 7 Doctor Who role-playing game, it looks like, but also the 5e adaptation of Doctor Who role-playing games. This is $25. It goes to support children's charities. It ends August 17th. So it contains both the Crucible 7 stuff and the 5e stuff for Doctor Who and all the various versions and incarnations that have been converted to the role-playing game, even the bad ones. We also have a Monsters and Dungeons bundle for those of you who have 3D printers. This is $20. It goes to support Make-A-Wish. It ends August 5th, and it contains a whole bunch of STL files, currently totaling at 117 collection of files by theme. I don't know how many are in each file, but it's a collection of files, each file containing a number of STL whatever thingies. I don't know how this works, but I assume it's similar to downloading a document, but instead of the document being printed out, the document is 3D printed, and all those X's and O's in the code tell the 3D printer to turn that into a tree or an elf or a building. Because you are installing double the amount of stuff, again, I would recommend before you open any files, especially these STL files or VTT files, double, triple, quadruple check them for viruses and malware. We've got the All About Gaming bundle from MIT Press. This is $18. It goes to support the Girls Who Can Code charity. It ends on August 9th. And it's all the, how to DM, how to design war games, how to design role-playing games, how to design a battle, how to design your epic final boss, how to design situations that are appropriate for certain, blah, 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 blah. You know the drill. The Frog God Games Kobold Press Pathfinder bundle is still available. It's got 143 titles on it. It ends on August 1st. It goes to support Make-A-Wish. $50 is the biggest pledge, including a lot of Frog God Games stuff. And I love the Frog God Games stuff. You guys know that. I've only mentioned it, I'm sure, a couple hundred times. So yeah, love that one. We've got the RuneQuest bundle still going on. That ends August 3rd. $18 is the most popular pledge. It goes to support code.org, which is another charity about teaching kids how to code. How to code. Why did my voice just suddenly go Austin Powers? Hey, oh, madman! Austin Powers. This contains everything that we know that exists for the amazing role-playing game that is RuneQuest, the weird, wacky world of Lorentha, where you can, amongst other things, play a duck. So, yeah. So if you ever were curious about RuneQuest, here is pretty much everything for under $20. That's a steal. So this week, my recommendations would be, of course, the Pathfinder bundle. The Christmas and July sale. And the Smurfs. Smurf. Yeah, I don't know if this is either going to be the biggest, most popular role-playing game ever or the most terrifying role-playing game ever. Either way, I mean, I'm surprised nobody's done it before now. Congratulations on these guys for being able to get the license. I mean, I know Smurfs aren't really big here in the States anymore, but I think they're still big over there on the other side of the pond. Denmark, right? Is that where Smurfs started? I want to say Denmark or France. But I think they're still huge. Am I wrong? I'll have to ask somebody who lives over there. I think people who are still live in Europe who could say whether it's a thing or not. I mean, I think it's a thing. At one point in time, it was like their version of Hello Kitty is how big Smurfs were over there. But who knows? I haven't heard the name brought up in a while until just now. And I don't know if I want to end you guys on something that horrifying as the idea of a role-playing game where you play Smurfs. All right, Smurf, roll your Smurf. Oh, dude, I only rolled Smurf. Okay, so Smurf, you hit the Smurf with your Smurf. Smurf takes a 5th Smurf damage. The Smurf shrugs it off, comes back at you, and decides to Smurf you. Yeah. So that exists.
Yo, check. Yeah, we're not the type to play games. You can